Hello out there. Alright. Let's do the sound check. Let's give people a couple minutes to gather, and then let's get this going, huh? Hello out there. Oh no, there's 10 replays. Spoilers! We know each series goes to 5 games. Every series goes to 5 games. The format, you're fine. Let's take a look at what we're getting today while we wait for people to gather. I'll do the official intro soon. Soon. Why are we doing a doubleheader today? We got confirmed that we get to move on Friday, so it's kind of getting into crunch time, and I couldn't space this out like one today, one tomorrow. I really need to focus on packing and stuff. So we're just gonna do both today. It's not that big of a deal. Doing one of these is like a 45-minute stream, so doing two will be about an hour and a half to, at the longest, 2 hours. It's not like it's gonna go crazy long or anything. Just taking a look at the factions today, we have Demons of Chaos versus High Elves, Tzeentch and Dark Elves, Dark Elves and Tomb Kings, Norsca and Beastmen, Bretonnia and Vampire Counts, Beastmen and Cathay, Lizardmen, Dark Elves Empire, Bretonnia Ogre Kingdoms, Empire Warriors of Chaos. That's a pretty good spread. That's a really good spread of factions, honestly. Cool. Seems lit. We have 1 minute left until this was supposed to start, so again, I'll just chill out until it was actually supposed to go. Once we get going, these go pretty fast, so I don't like to start too early, or people miss a good portion of it. What up, Segos? For anybody who is playing in the event today, if you happen to be here right now and I'm saying this, I'm not trying to be a dick, but it is a pet peeve of mine that's been occurring more and more over the last couple months, is whoever is playing will hop into the chat at the start and say, oh, I played this so bad, or like, my build was trash or something. Bruh. Don't tell us what happens at the start of your match. Like, sit on it for 5 more minutes, and then we'll all see what happens, and then you can, beat yourself up. Like, I get it, I get the instinct, but whenever I see it, I was like, well, fuck, now I know who wins. So, shh. Alright. It is 11:01. This was supposed to start at 11, so let's get going. If people are late, they'll have to rewind, or if you're in the VOD land, you're like, I'm not late. I started it whenever I felt like it. We are very far into our clan clash. We got a bunch of clans together. You see 1s and 2s. That was if a clan is big enough and active enough to field 2 teams, they did so. The format is set up in a way that we cannot have the same clan fight itself until the finals, which might occur as RTK2 is fighting ODM1 in the semifinals. ODM2 is fighting XMT. So if both ODMs win, we will have an ODM finals. Boo! Hiss! Boo! I mean, it's whatever, but I would prefer not to have the same clan be in the finals. That's, it's just like for an audience perspective. Could be nice. But let's see what these teams have done so far. XMT got here by fighting NC1. Oh, my lads. NC1 and MTK2 to fight ODM2. ODM2 had to fight RTK1 and the Mercenaries team. For ODM1, they only had to fight VOD. The way the bracket was set up, these were both, first teams, so they both got a quote-unquote bye round, but then since they both had a bye round, they could just fight each other, but they didn't have to fight way back here. And RTK2 had to beat MTK's 1 NC2. My specific team that I was helping out with was NC2, and we got beat by RTK2. Some good paths to get here to the semifinals. We'll start at the top. So RTK2 versus ODM1. If you have not been a part of the stream so far, and you don't know what's going on, we are doing kind of a best of 5, right? Like, let's say RTK wins 3 games in a row, they would win the best of 5, but we play all 5 games no matter what, because people, it would suck if you signed up to, like, play for your clan, you did the picks and bans, then you trained for, like, a week for your specific matchup, and then when the day came to play, the event was just over because your team already lost and you just don't get to play at all. That would suck. So at least people get to play it out. So we do have 5 games for each clan, no matter what the score is. I actually this time don't know what the score is. It isn't I forgot, it's people didn't tell me. I know who is in the finals already because we're coordinating that right now and we're trying to get it all set up and stuff. I know that, but I actually don't know what the scores are. I've never seen any of the games today, so it should be pretty fun. For our first matchup of the top semifinals, on the ODM side, we have Hanadins, Green One, Moore, JMG, and Persian Warrior. On the other side for RTK, it's Stingers, Rusty, Curio, Nalnish, and Tidsdemonin. Should be a good scrap. Let's get into our first game. Hanadins versus Stingers. That was the last one submitted to me. Boo. Boo, that's not how numbering things works. Just lie half the time to keep the tension up. Hey, let's go. Hanadins on the Demons of Chaos versus Stingers as High Elves. Now, I actually do know that Hanadins has been playing a lot of Demons of Chaos. He was one of the original people that played a lot of Skull Cannon Kite, like, before Immortal Empires, maybe? No, it had to have been just after, because Demons of Chaos was banned until Immortal Empires came out. But anyway, he's been playing these guys for a long time. What do we have? Herald Nurgle of Death, Fate of Buna, and Spirit Leech, plus his little Locust of kind of a heal. We have triple Blood Crushers of Khorne, one of which is the Heralds of Khorne's Fury. Some Blue Horrors and Exalted Demonettes of Slaanesh, an Exalted Flamer, a Skull Cannon, and a front line of Nurglings. I love how you made the picks and bans for the teams. It's really interesting. Thanks. We try, man. Fully believe the Demons of Chaos are underrated multiplayer. I think it can be true that they can still be really fucking bad and people can underrate them. Could we get the picks and bans for both teams? I don't have those this time, but if we do the event again, I can certainly have people write them down, but I don't have them this time. Anyway, chat's been distracting me, so I haven't done the high elf build yet. We have Tyrion, with it's just Sunfang and his Heart of Avalor, nothing else. Then we have 4 Illyrian Reaver Archers, including the Heralds of the Wind, 1 Silver Helm, a Lore Master of Hoeth with, Earthblood and Melkoth. So you wanted a mixed lore and didn't want to take 2 different casters. We have some Sword Masters of Hoeth to duel with Exalted Bloodletters, I would imagine, and then Spearmen and some Lothern Seaguard. From Stingers, I'm curious how few archers he has. It feels like versus the Demons of Chaos, the way to win is just to spam as much ranged fire as you can, because the demons generally don't have shields or heavy armor. And Tyrion's just in here. It looks like Tyrion's trying to block up some things and mess with them a bit, so the Skull Cannon and the Exalted Flamer can't do as much as they would want to. And they're just relying on Tyrion's insanely high melee stats to keep him safe. But it is tough. Versus the Heralds of Khorne's Fury, they're plenty elites. They're pretty good at dealing with this. They are taking a lot of damage from Melkoth, Mystifying Miasma, and Silver Helms are going to charge into them. Silver Helms, not the most armor-piercing, so the Heralds of Khorne Fury will be fine from them. But Tyrion seems to be getting his work done on them. Nurgling's all piling in. Skull Cannon is also opted into the front line, and that Exalted Flamer is firing downhill into Spearmen, getting some damage out. Yeah, some good damage out. They'll have to kite away. It's already halfway gone with ammo. What the hell? Another Spirit Leech on Tyrion as he uses Sunfang. That should be a really good Sunfang onto Exalted Demonettes. Yeah, that's really good damage for like a bound ability that has infinite uses if you just keep fighting and charging it up. Illyrian Reaver Archer is going to rear charge Blood Crushers of Khorne. That is a laughable attempt. It's a good play, like from a micro perspective, but it is just funny to think of a light skirmish cav rear charging Blood Crushers and anything happening there. More Melkoths getting spammed out on the extremely expensive demons. And the High Elf front line is here. Now, the High Elf Cavalry has been suffering pretty darn badly, and even the Swordmasters of Hoeth are not having a good time. Balance of power is slightly in the demons' favor, though as we saw in the stream yesterday, the new player stream, sometimes for the Demons of Chaos, everything can just fall apart very suddenly as we're about to lose an Exalted Demonette, we're about to lose a Nurgling. So the balance of power can be deceptive sometimes when things go to shit. Now, Tyrion always has this little mini-game of, is his Heart of Avalorn heal going to pop before he routes or after he routes? Because if it's after he routes, then this Herald of Nurgle can probably just chase him off the battlefield. Blood Crushers are sitting and fighting with the High Elves, but the High Elf Spearmen are great at this kind of thing. The Blood Crushers are actually taking a lot of damage. One of them is getting close to Demonic Instability crumbling. The Heralds of Kord's Fury have taken some damage, but they aren't quite close to crumbling just yet. You have some Nurglings also on that route. And Blue Horrors, above half HP, do start Demonic Instability crumbling. It is a shame, but it is the way things go. And Tyrion gets his big heal while still in the game. That is huge. So a couple big plays here for the High Elves, taking out some Blue Horrors well before their time, and Tyrion gets to live for a while. Balance of power could be evened out if that expensive Exalted Flamer with that ammunition left dies, but it looks like the Blood Crushers are plenty able to peel for them from the Illyrian Archers. Loudon Seaguard are back in action, firing at something. Looks like they just want to poke down the Blood Crushers. 100 armor is 100 armor, but you do eventually have to kill these guys. And Tyrion, even after his heal, is taking a walloping while surrounded by Blood Crushers and fighting the Herald of Nurgle of Death. Spirit Leeches, whenever they're off cooldown, are hitting him. The Exalted Flamer tries to pressure off the Loudon Seaguard yet again. Nice, nice. We have some Nurglings down here who are about to Demonic Instability crumble soon. And Tyrion is tanking it up. He's been tanky for a long time, but I am worried he's going to eventually die here. And what are the Spearmen achieving on the low ground? That is what we need. Looks like we're about to get a 3-man Demonic Instability crumble. There goes a Nurgling. There goes another Nurgling. And this Blood Crusher soon to follow. A Locus of Fecundity tried to heal these guys up, but it is a little too late to keep him in the game. So the Demons lose 3 units just like that, but the High Elves might lose Tyrion. You can get spammed Earthbloods all day, but eventually you just run out of room to Earthblood. And that is a whoopsie-daisy Sunfang that's going to go straight down his own Spearman and barely tickle the Blood Crushers' corns. That was not the look, unfortunately. Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch, 4 volleys left, but it is firing into a deep old blob. Another charge from the Herald of Nurgle. He actually gets a hit onto Tyrion, which is a little surprising he's getting this many hits on Tyrion, considering his massive melee stats. But finally he routes. Martial Prowess fades away. And he gets taken down. What up, Hellion? Hannidan's here to see himself prevail. Hey, Guillaume. Guillaume has been casting this event in Italian. If English is not your native language and you would rather listen to him cast it, he has been casting all these series. And I have a bunch of messages. Are any of them pertinent to what's going on right now? Okay. Just make sure no one was messaging me about, like, in the clan event, you fucked this up. Blood Crushers got amazing value. Skull Cannon did fine. His Lord did amazing. His Exalted Flamer paid for itself with a little bit of extra on the side. And then the Nurglings held for quite a while, but did eventually just die. It did set the Blood Crushers on half their fecundity. That's true, but also, like, I don't know. It could have been angled away from the Spearmen, but it was angled toward the Spearmen. I think that's a silver lining on a mistake, rather than, like, what he was planning to do. For Stingers, I liked the Tyrion tech. He honestly did tank a long time. Swordmasters, I think, were a little overbold. Even if you have Exalted Bloodletters you need to deal with, I still think you're better off spending the exact same money on another infantry unit and an archer. Like another, maybe a ranger and an archer. Or, I mean, he had 5 spearmen, but, like, in theory, a spearman and an archer. Because the spearmen will hold about as long as the swordmasters will against an Exalted Bloodletter, and then the archers can deal the damage. But if the Exalted Bloodletters aren't there, then these guys are just kind of outclassed. Like, one of them did okay, the other one got rolled. Silverhounds, they're fine. Illyrian Archers, I liked them. They were cool. Because it's kind of a mix of the Archer and Cav concept, which are both good against demons. And the Spearmen just had to hold for a while. GG. GG, lads. And that is a start for ODM. Gotta get my little paintbrush out. And go to the top. U, change to green, so it's positive. Boop, boop. Good win for Hannidans. On to game 2. Green one versus Rusty. And the green one, filthy, meta, sweaty tryhard that he is. Piece of garbage playing Bretonnia. Oh, it's a well-known fact. I hate Green One. I hate him. I hate his handsome face. I hate his muscular arms. I hate his six-pack abs. I hate the Green One. He's always like, Human Boy, you're such a good person. You're so nice. Let's be friends. And I'm always like, dude, fuck you. Alright. Alright. More seriously. Let's serious up, guys. For the Green One, we have 3 Knights of the Realm, a Pegasus Knight, and I thought I saw a Grail unit. We have the Companions of Quenelles, and there it is. The Royal Hippogriff Knights, Fey Enchantress. She does have her Mortis Engine effect, and then Regrowth and Earthblood. We have a bunch of Peasant Bowmen with a mix of fire and poison arrows. Fire to reduce the vampire count's healing, poison just to offer that little bit of melee debuff. And then 2 front lines. One is a Spearman at Arms, the other is a Peasant Mob. On the other side, we have Manfred von Karstein. I talked about him briefly during the faction face-off. Manfred has been seeing a lot more play. Him and the Blood Dragon Lord are both still good, but people have been really appreciating Manfred's flexibility in that he can go Fate Abuna, Spirit Leech, and still provide the summons and healing. You do lose a bit of combat power, and even more combat power now that he's not on his dragon, though I think Rusty realizes that versus Bretonnia, you're not going to get a really good blob fight. Bretonnia's just too good at that with the current meta and the current way Grails are. So he doesn't want a big dragon that's going to get surrounded by Grail Knights. I think he's just going for a little more faster, versatile caster that can do some poke. For his damage, he does have a bunch of Vargeists. Vargeists are very, very good. Skeleton Spearman, a Mortis Engine, and then Crypt Horrors and Dogs. Cool. I like it. Necromancer with a little Rod of Corruption. Spirit Leech the Fae don't. Yeah, no. The Fey Enchantress has crazy magic resistance. First Fate Abuna is out onto the Royal Hippogriff Knights. They only have 12 models, so it's not the most effective versus them like it would be versus a different Cav unit, but Rusty is identifying that this is the most important unit in the entire game, and I just need to fuck it up whatever the cost. Direwolf's going to charge with the Companions of Quenelles, but they will get surrounded and beaten up by the Royal Hippogriff Knights as the Mortis Engine gets in there. Knights of the Realm going to charge in, then fall back once the Mortis Engine gets close enough. They don't really want to get drained down by that. Archers immediately picking up that they're going to have to be the ones to kill the Mortis Engine because the Bretonnian Knights really don't want to blob up on zombies and skeletons, and only a couple of their models touch the Mortis Engine, and then meanwhile it drains them all down. So Rusty and the Vampire Counts, ignoring the Knights entirely for now. I think he wants to get to a late game situation. I'm speculating. But I think he wants to get to a late game situation where he's cleaned up all the archers and all the peasants, and then the Bretonnians just have to cycle charge into a mass of spears and Mortis Engine. I can see that. But you can see he's just beelining for the archers. He realizes those are the biggest threat to his Mortis Engine. He needs them gone. Vargeist diving down onto Knights of the Realm to try and get a good fight here, but they are getting shellacked by those elite knights. All of Bretonnian Knights are elite knights. The Vargeist taking a ton of damage. Might need a heal here from Manfred soon, who is just running away from the Hippogriff Knights, wasting their time, keeping him on the run. And Pegasus Knights already pushed off, though. Nothing is around to chase them. Manfred can't afford to, as he needs to stay safe from the Hippogriff Knights, so he's just going to keep running away. Do have some Knights of the Realm. Looks like they opted out of the fight, so they're not actually taking Mortis Engine damage right now. You can see they're all actually out here. Their flag is just stuck in the big old blob. And Green One did kite away with a lot of his archers. Vampire counts are up on the balance of power. I would disagree. There we go. Now it's more towards the middle. That's much more reasonable. We do have some zombies and Crypt Horrors fighting against Knights of the Realm and Spearmen in the distance. Mortis Engine still very healthy and healing up. We still have a lot of chaff for the Vampire counts to fall back on. But Bretonnia has taken out several of the Vargeists, which will be a problem. As for the Vampire counts, they're whittling down the archers. They've already gotten to that leadership point where now a stiff breeze can spook them off. The Vampire counts are pretty good at spooking and scaring things, especially if Manfred can use summons later or something. Companions of Quenelles are charging the Vargeist, but in the distance, Manfred looks like he took a mini fight against the Fey Enchantress. He's maybe still going for it, though I don't think either of them is going to achieve too much in combat, so I'm going to focus more on the Vargeist and see if they can get out. I'll give Rusty points. He picked the best flag. I love the Barrow Legion. I love how their Vargeists get like these cool blue mohawks. It's just the best. Realizing he's not going to get away, it looks like the Vargeists are just going to turn and fight for what they're worth, since, you know, they're not going to get away regardless. The Mortis Engine is still chasing around Knights of the Realm and Hippogriff Knights, and Manfred has still kept these Hippogriff Knights just busy following him around the map. Zombies land on the Peasant Bowman, the last healthy one. And the zombies won't do that much damage, but they'll muck them up for a bit. And they will do a bit of damage. I mean, Peasant Bowmen only have 14 melee defense. Zombies with their 5 melee attack can get a couple shots in here and there. Knights of the Realm getting locked up, and this is what the Vampire Counts want to be doing all game long. Come for the Mortis Engine, stay for the zombies. Manfred's still being cheeky, and now Pegasus Knight has also joined the fight to try and lock him down, but as long as Rusty keeps giving him movement orders, aerial units in general are very bad at surrounding something truly. They'll often do this where they just kind of half-ass follow it around, so Manfred's staying safe as long as Rusty's micro is on top of, as long as Rusty's on top of his micro. There we go. Which he has been so far. I mean, Manfred hasn't been in any bad situations, which is pretty huge. Mortis Engine again draining down the Knights of the Realm who are routing, but also these Companions of Quenelles, the other Knights of the Realm who aren't routing. The Mortis Engine doing really good work so far. We still have some Peasant Bowmen, but they're constantly being harassed, especially by a new Zombie Summon and the Tithe moving up on them. Just keeping this Mortis Engine a little on its toes. And the Hippogriff Knights are going for it. Now, there's no zombies or Cryptors around it right now, so now all the Hippogriffs that land will get contact with the Mortis Engine and try and hit it, though some of them do get caught up back here by nothing. Oh, there's a couple zombies keeping it safe. But now the Companions are coming in too, and we need some form of Vampire Counts chaff to keep it alive. Doesn't look like that'll be the case. Now the Mortis Engine is going to start taking big damage. It's not actually that tanky of a unit when it's not surrounded by other stuff. The Vampire Counts are just really usually good at keeping it. And you can see as soon as that happened, Rusty's like, yep, it's GG. Without the Mortis Engine, he was just going to get kited around the map and they'd heal up all their dudes and stuff. He realized it was over. Knights of the Realm got really good value. Companions of Quenelles and the Royal Hippogriff Knights did fine. Considering these guys were still like full HP, they did fine. Pegasus Knights got rolled. Their HP bar is deceptive because in-game they're actually quite injured. It's just all of their models were still technically alive, so the game's like in the post-game screen. They were good. They're fine. Archers were harassed around. Still got some decent value, but I do think Rusty kept them on the back foot for a while. Yeah. I think both players actually played this really well. GG. GG. Vampire Counts, I'm not seeing any, like, values that really stick out to me. Muffin Master, oh wait, I'm done. Dumb ignore me? Okay, I guess I will then. 2-0 start for the ODM lads. RTK needs a reverse sweep at this point to stay in the tournament. We have Moore versus Curio. Norsca versus Beastmen. Lore-wise, I don't know if these two would fight because they're both like Chaos factions, but also I could see them fighting because they both just kind of tend to fight whatever's literally in front of them and they occupy some of the same spaces. This could be a loreful matchup. Could. More on Norsca versus Curio on the Beastmen. And if you want RTK to still have a chance of staying in this tournament, you are rooting for the Beastmen. For Norsca, we have Norscan Ice Wolves, Armored Skin Wolves, and regular Skin Wolves, the Beasts of Tashnar, 3 Marauder Horse Masters, Throg the Troll King for a bit of regen. He didn't bring any items, a Deathcaster with only Spirit Leech, and then a front line of Marauders, and the Brutes of the Hound, Unbreakable Berserkers. On the other side, we have a whole bunch of Ungor herds and Ungor Spearman herds, Black Horde's Ravagers anchoring one end, some Centaurs with throwing axes, Minotaurs with shields, including the Butchers of Kalkengard, Ungor Raiders, and more Centaurs. So it's a very mixed army from the side of the Beastmen. Malgor Dark Omen, Doom and Darkness, and Flock of Doom. I really like this. I think, as much as we all make fun of debuff and buff spells, I really think Doom and Darkness is having a bit of a day, because people are starting to realize how critical it can be to knock someone out of a fight and then chase them off the map. It's as good as doing a Fate of Buna. Like, sure, Fate of Buna kills a unit for a lot, but if you route it and chase it off the map, that also essentially kills a unit. Not that they're better than damage or healing spells, but like Doom and Darkness well placed can be quite good. Brutes of the Hound are in the fight, already taking tons of damage, but thankfully they are unbreakable, so they'll fight to the very end. Marauder Horsemaster skirmishing in a little bit. The Marauder front line should win. but it's kind of a moot point. Neither front line is going to win by enough to be what decides this game. This game is about the flanks. Both sides invested a lot in their mobility. Both sides need to make that mobility count to win. It's pretty simple. Armored Skinwolves teasing the front line, but both sides, it's kind of a game of chicken where you don't want to be the first one to charge or this happens, right? If you overextend, the other side just swarms in and eats you alive and they get the better engagement. You also kind of want to start it because your front line's probably not doing too good. But it does look like Norsca got the patience game. Knock out one Centaur, getting a good fight on another one, and Malagor lands too, getting Spirit Leeched and hunted down by dogs. And Norsca's patience appears to be prevailing so far, but is this all a bait? Malagor's not the easiest to take out. He's not the tankiest character, but he's not super easy to take out. And you could get rear charged by these Centaurs. Looks like the dogs kind of milling about in weird patterns, but the Blackthorns, Ravagers, and Centaurs will deal with them. And the central fight overall is going to the Beastmen. They sent more reinforcements to this battle, and the Beastmen Norskins backed off. They left these Skinwolves for dead, and the Brutes of the Hound and stuff, so these guys are getting killed. Beasts of Tachnar and the Norscan Ice Wolves trying to chase around Centaurs, and Centaurs are throwing axes. The Marauder Horse Masters are offering supporting fire in the backline, and once again, Minotaurs end up a little out of sorts, and two different Skinwolves plus some dogs are running over to clean them up. This is a weird game of Red Rover where neither side gives a shit about their front line, and it's just like making mobility picks in the back line. Marauders are slowly starting to lose on the north side just because of how many Beastmen they're fighting. And on the south side, the Beastmen have committed some Butchers of Cowden Guard reinforcements to win that fight. So slowly the Beastmen are getting through the front line. Meanwhile, Spirit Leech plus a nasty Marauder Horsemaster volley takes Malagor down to below half HP. And he'll need to back off for a little bit. Centaur's getting caught out, but Blackthorn's Ravager may be the best infantry unit out here since the Brutes of the Hound are dead. They're doing nice. They're doing nice. They're just walking around, being annoying. None of the mobility elements really want to fight on a hybrid elite unit. You know, mobility only really wants to trash on chaff and then run away. They don't really want to fight anybody with backbone. Butcher's Cowden Guard fighting Skinwolves, and Throg's going to join the fight. There's a Doom and Darkness, though, on the Skinwolves, and the Butcher's Cowden Guard do cause terror. You can see he immediately wants to run away, doesn't want to get terror routed into a real route, and he takes a fight with some Centaurs, but the Beastmen are not allowing these Skinwolves to get away, really determined to make that Doom and Darkness count. Boom! He is routing off the map. He might come back. The Beastmen don't have enough reinforcements to truly spend time chasing this guy down, and if they do, the Marauder Horsemasters might take them out, but still, it's a good route on the Skinwolves. Especially a low leadership regenerating unit. You're probably going to end up shattering it before you actually kill it, so that's fine. Just take one of its 3 lives away. Norsca falling behind. The Beastmen continue to press up. Throg's still full HP, but I've seen Throg get surrounded and disintegrated very, very quickly, so I don't necessarily think like, oh, Throg's full health, Norsca's gonna win this one. It's like, that's nice, but it's not game-changing. I still think this is very much 50-50 right now. Norsca is extremely tattered, but their Lord and Caster are super healthy. On the other side, the Beastmen have a bit more ground forces, but Malagor is just getting whittled down, and Spirit Leech puts him on a clock. And I don't know if that Overcast actually hit him. I know it went off, but if you're moving, it's kind of 50-50 on whether or not it actually does damage to you. Anyway, my point is, 2 more Spirit Leeches and Malagor is dead, and the Beastmen are going to take a big old leadership debuff, but I don't know if Norsca is going to be able to hold on until that matters. A lot of the regenerating units are damaged almost beyond the point of repair. I guess these have 14 models. Over there, you have 12. And I heard another Doom and Darkness on these Skinwolves. Trying to get them to route. There they terror out, and then they turn to a natural route. The Centaurs are going to try and walk them off, but the Doom and Darkness is really putting Norsca on the back foot, as we have a lot of routing units over here. Skirmish Cav being thrown into archers, try and block them up. We have some Ogre Spearmen Herd that need to wake up. They need to come back to the fight. Ooh, and Centaurs in the back line. That might be a critical mistake from the Beastmen if this game ends up being super close, as they are not bringing their forces back to the fight quickly enough. Because they could be rear charging these Marauder Horsemasters right now, and now they wake up, now they're coming back. The bounce power is still 50-50. And there is an Overcasted Spirit Leech for the increased range, because Malagor's trying to stay safe. He's trying to stay away from this fight so this doesn't happen. But the Overcasted Spirit Leech will get him, and holy shit, is it going to kill him? Is one Spirit Leech going to do 1,000 health? It does not. He barely manages to live, but he didn't bring his leadership item. Not that you always should, right? It's not a mistake not to bring it, but he didn't bring his leadership item. He is a Beastman. I don't know if he rallies. He might. Malagor is a tricky bitch, but he might just walk off the battlefield, and that could be dire news for the forces of the Beastmen, who are falling behind on the balance of power now. We still have some Marauder Horsemasters who are extremely damaged. They don't have a lot of ammunition left to them. Skinwolves coming back yet again. Regenning up. We still have the Butcher's Accountant Guard. We still have the Black Horse Ravagers. And Malagor is going off the map. Expect to see a lot more of these white flags for the Beastmen as he disappears. There goes those Minos. There goes these Ungor Spearmen maybe. And here goes the Ungor Raiders. I saw Throg go down to like half leadership at full HP earlier, so yeah. Alright. Beastmen trying to rally together at this point. Their leadership is such a problem with Malagor being dead that they just want to rally around the Butcher's Accountant Guard and the Blackhorn's Ravagers. Because anything that's out here is going to get picked off pretty easily. Spirit Leeches have started for the Butcher's Accountant Guard. Let's see if they can hold on. The only chance for the Beastmen now is to kill literally everything besides Throg and then just swamp him in the late game. But if they try and snipe him now, they'll get picked apart by all this other stuff, and he's going to regen through it. He's going to be fine. You can't kill him fast enough to really make it worth it, so the Beastmen do need to prioritize everybody besides Throg. Maybe get that Spirit Leech caster out of here if you can, but he is on foot, which can make him deceptively tanky. But Norsca isn't giving them a lot of options. Norsca is running away with like everyone besides Throg, so the Butcher's trying to take a fight. It's not going their way for now. And the Beastmen might just be doing this to try and get Norsca to get over here and commit to a fight, and then they can turn. It looks like that's what they're doing. They were just fighting Throg in the meantime to try and get Norsca to finally make their move. Because with the Tarot, the Butcher's Accountant Guard, these guys aren't going to last long. Throg and the Spirit Leech caster are inflating this balance of power a crazy amount. If everything had to just knock down, drag out, fight, it's anybody's game, but having a full HP Lord like this just makes army losses so much closer. Do have some archers rallying. They are shooting at basic Skinwolves, not the armored Skinwolves. Still get a little bit more damage. Skinwolves still have a good amount of physical resistance, so they'll be fine. And Spirit Leeches hitting the Butcher's Accountant Guard. Norsca is fine slowing this down. Like I said, the Beastmen are trying to get everybody in this little area because this is happening. Norsca is delaying the game, getting as much healing as they can for the Skinwolves and casting Spirit Leeches by just picking off anything that's not part of the blob, and then they'll throw Throg at the blob because they're not worried about him dying. And if you overcommit onto him, then they can recharge you with all these stuff, so it's tough. Beastmen are definitely against the wall. I really like how both players are playing it. Can't hurt me, check. Marauder Horsemasters still going to go clean up some stuff. Skinwolves and Marauder Horsemasters killing off Ungor Raiders. And Norsca, very happy to let Throg just sit here and regen. Daring the Beastmen to fully commit. And if they don't, they get Spirit Leeched. About 10 minutes on the clock. This is probably the longest this matchup has ever gone on Pillar Bone. Such a small map with two aggressive factions, but neither side could fully get the snowball going, so we did end up grinding it out. Blackhorn's Ravager standing still to get back to fresh vigor. Actually, yeah, they have perfect vigor as long as their leadership's high, so they're chilling. They're fine. Some Marauders rejoin the fight to help Throg a little bit. Butcher's Accountant Guard are also regenerating, but they're not regenerating nearly as fast as multiple Skinwolves. Wait, did one of the Skinwolves randomly route for no reason? Holy shit, they did! One of the Skinwolves routed for no reason! Okay, so it's one Skinwolf now. That's a little concerning. But the bounce power is dipping further and further away from the Beastmen. They have to make some moves somewhere, somehow. Butcher's Accountant Guard trying to stand around for a little bit, get some vigor back or something. Spearmen just poking away at Throg as he slowly kills them. And Marauders rejoin. Centaur's going to get a free little side charge here and just rout them off. I haven't seen a Spirit Leech in a while, and I have to imagine that the Shaman Sorcerer is running out of Winds of Magic. He maybe has like one, possibly two left. Possibly. Because he didn't bring the Spirit Leech passive. Yeah, that'll hurt you in a long game. I think he didn't want to spend the money, though, because like I literally just said, you don't expect this type of matchup to go long, so he's probably not like, I need the Spirit Leech passive to kite out the late game. It's, you know, make this caster as cheap as possible, because this game's going to be over in like 5 minutes. Throg's heal cap has appeared. Marauder Horsemasters are going to take the fight to Centaur. Centaur's charge back at them, but the Marauder Horsemasters, one, I mean, they get us around, and two, they are Marauder Horsemasters. But the Butcher's Accountant Guard break through. spooking and scaring, and we have some Ungor Spearmen also behind the Marauder Horsemaster. So that is a big route onto these two, pushing them off, and the Centaurs might be able to chase those guys while Throg is still fighting in the Ungor Spearmen herds. Blackhorn's Ravagers holding off the Skinwolves, making sure that they stay back. Blackhorn's Ravagers are fearsome combatants. The balance of power is super fraudulent. Don't you dare army loss this game. Don't you fucking do it! As these Ungor Spearmen herds are thinking about routing, Marauder Horsemen are maybe going to come in for just a rear charge, try and get rid of them, trying to hurt the balance of power against the Beastmen even further, as the Ungor Spearmen shatter. Butcher's Scout Guard are avoiding Throg for now. Oh, the balance of power. Don't you fucking do it, dude. Don't you do it. Rear charge for Throg onto the Butchers. He gets one hit. He does kill a model. And the Butchers aren't turning and fighting. What are they hoping is going to happen? Throg's just running you down. You can't get away. Like, as much as it sucks, you just have to turn and fight, man. Blackhorn's Ravager stuck fighting Skinwolves. The balance of power is dipping too far away, and I do think they're going to get army lost. Butchers really trying to ignore Throg and go get the Skinwolves, but they're frostbitten by Throg. They were slowed down for quite a bit. Now they charge over here. Marauder Horsemasters coming back to the fight. And the balance of power is so bad, the Beastmen just have to get damage somewhere to keep that balance of power at bay. Skinwolves are turning around to charge back in now that the Marauder Horsemasters have distracted some people. Throg's in on the rear. Balance of power is still danger low. There is the army losses proc. And that's a GG. Overall, really good game from these two, but I do think at that very, 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 very end point, Curio was taking too much free damage on his Butchers, and he just had to turn and fight Throg, because he needed damage to stay in the game. As much as balance of power sucks, right? Balance of power is trash. We all hate it. But as much as it sucks, it is a mechanic, and it's like, I don't know. He needed to just trade damage somewhere instead of taking free damage, because then the game just decided it was over. Really, really close fight. Archers did pretty well. Blackhorn's Ravagers did pretty well. Ungor Spearmen herds actually got a ton of value. Centaurs did fine. Minos, the Butchers did great. The other one actually got trucked on somewhere. Centaurs did fine. GG. For more, Throg was fine. He was a stat stick that was tanky and walking around. Spirit Leech Caster did a ton. Skinwolves. It's funny that the regular Skinwolves did better than the armored Skinwolves, but I imagine the armored Skinwolves got focused down because they're better. Dogs did okay. Marauder Horsemasters were super clutch, and then Marauders and the Berserkers actually kind of got shit-faced. How many did you miss? 3. 3, 3, 3. So that is a 3-0 start for ODM over RTK2. We still have Nulnish and Tzdemon fighting for honor, but we do know that ODM 1, I forgot what number it was. We do know ODM 1 will be going to finals. Let's see if they go with a 3-2, a 4-1, or a 5-0 sweep. That would be the first sweep of the bracket. We've had 1 4-1. Every other series has been 3-2. Do we get our first 5-0? I'm looking for JMG and Nulnish. That is this. Dark Elves versus the Tomb Kings. And a Naked Lady Blitz. I've seen the Naked Lady rushes, but not versus Tomb Kings. This is a little wild. That Beastmen Norsca game was so lit. That was pretty awesome. JMG is one of my favorite players to watch. I don't know if he's new to like Warhammer, but he is newer to my scene. You know, seeing him around tournaments and stuff. And he just plays matchups really interestingly. He's not like the best player that's ever lived, but he is good. I think the 2 times I faced him, he beat me both times. But he takes really interesting builds and plays them strange, especially his Chaos Orbs. So we have a Supreme Sorceress of Dark with Soul Stealer, and then the Naked Lady Rush, Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter across the board, and then triple Cold One Knight, very straightforward. On the other side for Nulnish, we have 4 Skeleton Horse Archers, 2 Skeleton Horsemen, and a Carrion on the front line, Chosen the Gods, Ushapti Great Bows, Eyes of the Desert, Sporkle Stalkers, and then 4 Ushapti Melee, a front line of Skeleton Spears, and Cathay with his various spells, Cursed Blades, and Incantation of Vengeance, plus Sandstorm. Is that a real build? I don't know about versus Tomb Kings. I know the Witch Elf Rush is a build that has existed versus other factions like Skaven, Dwarves. I'm trying to think if it's anyone besides Skaven and Dwarves. Empire, I've seen a little bit. Anyway, first Soul Stealer is out. It looks like it's mostly for damage, as the Dark Elf caster is not in any real danger. Just wanted to start hurting some of these guys, and she's going to continue to harass this backline. Golden Knights did get out around the side, and it's not like there's a lot the Tomb Kings have for melee units that can stop them. But the front line is going to hell in a handbasket. Look at the damage coming through as these Witch Elves tear apart the Spearmen and Carrion. Ushapti being pulled up, and wherever the Ushapti are, things are holding okay, but Sisters of Slaughter are also getting through the cracks and really slamming down the Skeleton Horsemen who are falling back. For the Dark Elves, it is not a one-way street, though. Witch Elves have taken a lot of damage. Some of their Golden Knights have also taken a lot of damage. So this kind of build kills things quickly, but it also gets killed pretty quickly. Sisters of Slaughter are tankier than you would expect, but the Witch Elves are certainly just paper. Golden Knights get a downhill charge into the Chosen of the Gods. The Ushapti Summon of the Tomb Kings is already being used because they need the pressure. Their front line is falling apart really fast. Like, really fast. Look at all these Spearmen. They're all dead. We have one full-out Spearman. The others are either literally dead or below half HP and falling. Viserian's Incantation of Vengeance onto the Coldwood Knights, trying to get rid of the mobility a little bit and give themselves some room to kite around. Katep and the sneaky snakes crawling away from those Sisters of Slaughter. Dark Elves are up on the balance of power, and I definitely agree. Dark Elf caster feeling pretty safe, just sitting melee Ushapti for a bit. Not like they're anti-large or anything. Maybe the rush is unexpected. Oh, I wouldn't expect it. I wouldn't expect this at all from the Dark Elf side. Probably expect like Dark Shards, Bolt Throwers, Shades, Dark Rider, Peter Crossbows. Like, they have all these armor-piercing missiles. You don't expect them to just full send it on 5 armored infantry. You know, the infantry that have 5 armor, not 5 infantry that are armored. Eyes of the Desert about to die. Chosen of the Gods about to die. That healthy Ushapti is fake. Okay. The healthy Ushapti is fake, so everything about over here is actually just about dead. We still have some Skeleton Horse Archers with a lot of HP and a decent amount of ammunition. And they're doing well versus the Sisters of Slaughter and Witch Elves and stuff. It's just like the rest of the build was not set up for this at all. We do have one pocket for the Tomb Kings that is doing alright. These two Ushapti down here are real, and they're both pretty healthy. We also still have a Spearman down here. Looks like the Dark Elf caster's just chasing around Katep, throwing a Soul Stealer on him to just do a little bit of damage. Knows she doesn't need the healing. She just wants to take him out and end this game one way or the other. Witch Elves and Sisters still cleaning some stuff up. Nalnish kiting around with the Skeleton Horse Archers. Katep having issues getting away from this dragon. 90 speed, she is faster than him whenever she gets into the sky. He runs to his Ushapti, but as we saw before, she can stand in Ushapti for an awfully long time and not really take too much damage. Overcasted Cursed Blades gives them 16 bonus versus large and better damage, but that damage is still really low. They only have 24 melee attack. With the 16 bonus versus large, that's 40 melee attack versus 46 melee defense. So even with the buff, she still has a higher melee defense than they have melee attack. They're not going to, like, one-shot her or anything. And everywhere else, the Dark Elves are just way too far ahead. Look at that balance of power, and I don't disagree at all. 2 healthy Skeleton Horse Archers, but even the one winning area, these Ushapti and Spearmen and stuff, like, the Sisters of Slaughter are just going to town down here. They're killing so much stuff. They've been low on HP for quite a while, and they're still just trucking. We have half-health one over there. We have some tattered reinforcements coming over. This one's doing just fine, slapping Katep in the face right now. Getting really good damage, rear charge in from the Ushapti, and that might just trigger army losses as those guys start crumbling too. It's Ogre! Another Soul Stealer to poke down Katep, but it is too late. For JMG, his Dragon Lord got good value, considering she stayed full HP like literally the whole game. Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter, their value isn't going to be as indicative of their importance. But look at the kills, right? Like 160, 160, 107, 102, 63, and 60. And we had this conversation briefly on the Faction Face-Off, I believe. Someone mentioned, like, Witch Elves killing... No, it wasn't the Faction Face-Off, it was something else. Whatever. Witch Elves killing an Empire Spearman isn't worth it. And it's like, yes, the grenade launchers are killing them. That's whatever. But the pressure of a Witch Elf isn't necessarily the value it gets. It's blitzing through a front line so that the ranged units behind it can't do damage. So if you kill a 300 gold unit with your, I forget what they are, but let's say 750 gold unit. You kill a 300 gold unit, cool. You didn't pay for yourself, but then the rest of the game, you ran after the silver bullets, a handgunner. Well, the silver bullets aren't doing shit until Coldland Knights beat the Empire Knights and Dark Riders get back there and deal with them. But it's just the pressure that you get from unexpectedly slamming through a front line when the opponent's build was constructed around the concept of frontline hold, backline shoot. When you change that equation on them, half their build is fucking useless. And we kind of saw that here a little bit, where Nalnish had a decent front line, and then he had some melee Ushopti to buff it up, so he really didn't think his front line was going to break. He didn't have a lot to deal with the cavalry, but he had the Sepulchral Stalkers, and he had the Chosen of the Gods, and he thought that those would deal with the cavalry. Well, all of a sudden, when Sisters of Slaughter and Witch Elves are all over their dick all game, they can't deal with the cavalry. So then the three Coldland Knights are running amok, doing whatever they want, because they're not getting shot, because the Chosen of the Gods and the Sepulchral Stalkers have to keep running away from Witch Elves. That's what you use them for. So I just remembered that comment, and at the time I couldn't fully explain my thoughts, but here we saw the Witch Elf Rush work, so now it's easier for me to tell you why Witch Elves can be good, right? So not always going to get their value back, but they can be good. You need to have them in the right spot. So in that Empire game where the grenade launchers were deleting Witch Elves with every single volley because of their low armor and how badly they got clumped up on the front line, it's like, okay, this isn't a great game to talk about Witch Elves. What do you guys think if Tomb King's got a Javelin low ammo shield infantry like Skinks with Jabs? I think they could be fine for the Tomb Kings. I don't know if it'd be fine for the game in general. Because people are generally pretty frustrated with the 400 gold Skinks because they're too good at everything for low price points. They're just not really fun to play around. I don't know if we want more units that are good at literally everything. Last game is Persian Warrior versus Tids Daemonin. Is it the first 5-0 sweep? Let's find out. Boom! Persian Warrior on the new and improved Tzeentch, taking our second Exalted Flamer of the day. Versus Tids Daemonin on the Dark Elves Morathi and triple Cold One Dread Knight. Okie dokie. For Tzeentch, we have 4 of the Centaurs of Tzeentch, my favorite unit from the Shadows of Change 2.0 update, and I will not stop saying it. We have a Soul Grinder, Chaos Lord of Tzeentch, the new melee guy, Cultist of Tzeentch with his Wand of Whimsy, with Burning Head, Fireball, and Cascading Fire Cloak. That's a lot of spells. Exalted Flamer, a whole bunch of blue horrors, and that is it. On the other side, we have Morathi, who's currently being pursued by a Fireball. Gets hit by it while the Soul Grinder's also trying to snipe her out. She does have 25% spell resistance and 15% missile resistance, so not going to take too much from the fireballs there. Crows of Cain, triple Cold One Dread Knight, a couple Dark Riders in there as well, a Reaper Bolt Thrower, a bunch of Dark Shards, and Bleak Swords. I like this build. I like this Dark Elf build a lot. It's cool. Chaos Lord walking through the Crows of Cain, and Dark Shards are trying to punish him a little bit, but now the Crows of Cain are there, so it's going to be mostly friendly fire if they try it. Soul Grinder keeps Morathi on blast. She does have Soul Stealer, so she can keep healing herself up as those shots come in, and the Bolt Thrower is keeping the Soul Grinder honest. Exalted Flamer getting a couple shots off in the distance. I'm still not sold that this thing is any good, though I know ODM likes it, so good for them. You always like when people have different styles, even if their styles are wrong and I'm right, because I'm always right and they're wrong. Blue Horrors of Tzeentch firing up in the Crows of Cain, getting good damage down, those lightly armored little bats. Bump, bump, bum, good damage for you. Morathi's getting sniped out. Bolt Thrower's keeping that Soul Grinder honest. And in comes the Centaur charge. Centaurs so good with those barriers that they can take the first charge, and then they're still full HP as they get into the grind. But Cold and Dread Knights are not fucking around. They're super high stats, especially if we get Murderous Prowess soon. Their super high stats should outclass the Centaurs, even though the Centaurs got the charge here. It's just such a high melee defense to overcome. Cascading Fire Cloak gives them more damage and better melee defense, however. Dark Riders on the back line, not sure what they're going to be able to accomplish, because Blue Horrors are fine versus Dark Riders, but also Centaurs of Tzeentch will beat them straight up. And a big Burning Head from Tzeentch down the line. Looks like it might hit 2 Dark Shards, and then it curves away from the Dark Shards. So it only gets 1. Rest in peace, Tzeentch, sometimes being capricious goes against you. Cold One Dread Knights are taken out by a rear charge from the Centaurs of Tzeentch. I saw them trying to disengage earlier, but doesn't seem to have gone their way. In the distance, other Cold One Dread Knights are getting much more honest fights versus the Centaurs, though it still looks like they are losing versus this Hyper Elite Armor-Piercing Cav. It's really about getting the charge. If the Centaurs get the charge, they'll win. If they get charged by Cold One Dread Knights, they will lose. Morathi's still taking a lot of damage from the Soul Grinder, and the Bolt Thrower, while it is annoying, that Soul Grinder, it has not done nearly enough damage to be worth it. I guess it has only been firing for 3 minutes, but still, that Soul Grinder's been getting shot by it the whole time, and it's still killing Morathi. Fireball pokes her down, a Bolt of Change is coming from the sky, and after the homing updates, it don't miss or do it! That's honestly the first one I've seen miss in a very long time, and Morathi desperately needed it. I guess she seduced that Doom Bolt and decided not to let it hit her. Dark Shard's still harassing and being annoying, but the Blue Horror frontline is doing just fine. The Tzeentch caster did catch Morathi, and he is immune to her wiles as he beats her literally to death. And that might be GG. As I always say, the Elven factions are the least concerned about Lord Snipe because they have the highest leadership regardless. I mean, like Dwarves too. But still, losing your caster and Lord is always quite brutal, and the rest of the battle is not really going great for them. Like, if the Dark Elves were slamming everywhere else and they lost Morathi, I wouldn't be concerned, but, like, it's looking tough out there. Soul Grinder is still getting poked down by the Bolt Thrower, and the Bolt Thrower is a significantly cheaper artillery piece, so it has paid for itself. It's done good work. It just wasn't enough to quickly kill this thing and save Morathi, but it's been fine. Bleak Sword's still fighting out with some Blue Horrors, and the Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch down to half HP, but it's used almost all of its ammo, so it really has gotten done what it needed to get done. The Cold One Dread Knights did prevail over the Centaurs of Tzeentch in the end, but they took so much damage and so long to do it that it looks like Tzeentch is just getting too far ahead. But maybe I'm speaking too soon. This Soul Grinder is about to die. The Exalted Flamer might die if the Cold One Knights can figure out their shit, and all of a sudden we're going to lose 2 expensive pieces, but a rear charge in from the Centaurs of Tzeentch, that could be the death of these Cold One Dread Knights, and they were kind of the last hope for the Dark Elves to stay in this game. We still have some Dark Shards. Can the Dark Shards defend themselves from the Centaurs who are creeping in? Blue Horrors starting to demonic instability crumble. All of a sudden, the Dark Elves have a lot of stuff left on the field. And like I said, it is mostly single entities for Tzeentch around, which Cold One Dread Knights can do okay against, but we have some Terror Outs already coming in. Soul Grinder still getting poked down by the Bolt Thrower shots. The Exalted Flamer is getting close to demonic instability crumbling. He's surrounded by Cold One Dread Knights. And how many Centaurs of Tzeentch are left to really take care of these guys? But the Dark Shard's not going to notice the Centaurs who have rallied and crept up behind them. Balance power goes further against the Dark Elves, but the Exalted Flamer is dead. Crows of King are just terror routing. If they can come back, they should definitely land on the Centaurs of Tzeentch. Just get them down, because clearly they've been fighting the Chaos Lord of Tzeentch all game, and it hasn't been working out. Dark Shard's still firing away at the Centaurs. Bleak Sword's going to take a fight with the Soul Grinder as the Bolt Thrower continues to fire in. And these Centaurs are really trying to kill the Dark Shards so they can hurry up and go shut down that Bolt Thrower once and for all, and maybe save the Soul Grinder a little bit here and there. Cold One Dread Knights fighting back against more Centaurs of Tzeentch in the distance. And for the second time today, we have a rather close game, but the healthy single entities are determining it for sure. I would agree. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Tzeentch is favored here. But I don't think army losses is appropriate just yet. Now it's looking like it. Now that this last Cold One Dread Knight is shattered, the other Cold One Dread Knight did not manage to rally. There we go. That's fine. But it was teetering on it a little early, but all the Dark Shards did get shut down. The Bolt Thrower was not able to finish off the Soul Grinder, and that will decide it for sure. Exalted Flamer 1300 value, Soul Grinder 1600, and the Cultists of Tzeentch did okay. Chaos Lord did fine. Centaurs of Tzeentch showing their true prowess if you give them the good engagements that they need. And the Blue Horrors did really well. So the whole Tzeentch roster really performed in that matchup. For Tzeentch, Morathi spent the whole game running away and still managed to die because Soul Grinder is a badass. Cold One Dread Knights did well overall. Their value is good. Crows of Cain were fighting the whole game and just kind of shit the bed. I think they were trying to peel from Morathi, but as we mentioned in Rusty's game where he was just running away with Manfred from the Hippogriff Knights all game, flying units are really bad at surrounding a target and holding it still. I think he needed to realize that a bit sooner and just have the Crows of Cain play with the Cold One Dread Knights and fuck up the Centaurs' charges. Because the Centaurs rely so much on charges where, like, let's say the Centaurs and the Cold One Dread Knights are charging at each other, just have the Harpies quickly land on the Centaurs and then try and walk away. And sure, the Harpies will take some damage, but the Centaurs just lost all their momentum and the Cold One Dread Knights slam into them. I think that would have been a better use for them. Hindsight's 2020. It's really easy for me to sit here and be like, why don't you just do this? Just, like, do this. But, you know. I do think that is correct, even if it's much easier to say it than do it. I like the bolt thrower, but clearly one just didn't have the DPS to really be a nuisance. I think maybe... I rarely say this, but I think maybe 2 bolt throwers is actually good in this matchup. Because I see what it was doing. It was just doing it too slowly. But it is cheap. Like, I'm not trying to shit talk this one bolt thrower. The one bolt thrower did great. I'm like, oh, if you had 2, that Soul Grinder actually might have died before it took out Marathi. Then you could have gotten some Soul Stealers in or something. Dark Shards did okay, and then they were shut down. Bleak Swords, not a lot of value, but you just need a front line in some case. Caster's so smart with hindsight, yeah. So that was the first series. That is our first 5-0. Persian Warrior defeats Tids the Monin. And Odium 1 will be going to the finals. Bring you with me. So we've had 1 5-0, 1 4-1. All the rest have been 3-2s. Let's pop down to XMT versus ODM 2. We are now down to a 50-50 shot on whether or not I have to cast an ODM versus ODM final, or if we get ODM versus XMT, which would be a huge run for XMT to go through the most possible games and to be the only team from their clan, where a lot of other clans got 2 lives, and to still get to finals would be rather impressive. Let's see if they can pull it off. We have Twilight Harbinger, Flying Taco, Maydave, Ronan, and Papa Palpatine versus Razel, Hardress Warrior, Loopy, Alfredino, and Segos. Stinky, stinky Segos. No. I was joking about Green One. Green One's cool. Green One's chill. I love Green One. I'm not joking about Segos. He is stinky. He's never taken a bath in his entire life. We were hanging out the other day, smoking cigars, as we do, playing cards. $1,000 a chip, no big deal. And, you know, he just fucking smelled, man. From across the table, I couldn't stand. My eyes were watering. Ugh. He's just a bad person, is what I'm trying to say. Is he joking? I don't know if he's joking. Do we have to be concerned? I don't know if he's joking anymore. There we go. I was stalling because for some reason I was having a hard time finding the game. Ah! Segos is in chat! Everybody run! Game 1, Twilight Harbinger versus Razel. We have Dark Elves again versus Empire. Greatest champion of Stink. Okie dokie. ODM starting off this round with some Dark Elves. We have Cold One Knights, Dark Riders, 2 Scourge Runner Chariots, 1 Shade, and then Black Corsairs and Bleak Swords, with Marathi up in the sky, so they agree with RTK from previous that Marathi is apparently good. She has her Melkots and Soul Stealer. On the other side, for the Empire, we have a Grey Wizard, not something you see very often, with just Melkots, though an overcast of Melkots hurt him quite a lot, and now Marathi's Doomwall is also going to knock him down a peg. So he's already down to half HP. Marcus Wolfhart with just his net. Then we have some Free Company Militia, Swordsmen, Spearmen, Crossbowmen, Silver Bullets, Outriders with Grenade Launchers, 1 Hellblaster Volley Gun, and then some Knights of the Blazing Sun. A Hellblaster Volley Gun. Okay. I was going to say, I don't like Free Company Militia. I feel like a lot of people have tried to make them work, and I don't ever see them doing particularly great. But I guess we're talking about the Hellblaster Volley Gun now, as it tries to rip into the Dark Elf lines, and it's getting some damage out there. We'll see how much it can really do. Shade's damaging the Free Company Militia by a lot, but the Dark Elves are closing in. We'll see what the Scourge Runners can do. I don't think they do a lot of damage to Hellblaster models, so I think they'll probably avoid them. Another overcasted Melkoth's just deleting the Empire caster. What the hell? Maybe stop overcasting those, as you've almost lost your caster before the game even started. I was inspired. The Hellblaster is cool. David? That's not allowed. Cool things are not allowed. As the Outrider grenade launchers are still firing away. They're killing the Bleak Swords, but Shades have turned their ire on him. Outrider's going to dodge most of that volley, as Free Company Militia and Crossmen, plus the Hellblaster, try and take out the Shade. And if you take out the Shade, there's no other ranged for the Dark Elves. Then your Outriders could have a pretty good day, but I guess with Morathi, Melkoths, and Scourge Runners running around, I suppose there's still enough. Yeah. Do Empire Crossbows have a good niche versus Dark Elves? They're, like, fine. I wouldn't call them good, but they're fine. They're not troll. They are what they are. They're cheap archers or whatever. I think if you can afford Huntsman, you should always go for Huntsman, but sometimes you're in a pinch. Marcus Wolfhard gets a huge Hunter Snare down. The Outriders grenade launchers are going to route anyway from the Scourge Runner fire that's coming in. Crossmen are too close to the fight to really do too much, but Knights of the Blazing Sun getting a free charge onto the Cold One Knights, and they have an insane charge bonus of 78. So getting that charge on the Cold Knights, you can see they're going to eat these guys up, even though they don't have armor piercing. So that's a good little pick back here for the Empire. And also other Cold One Knights diving in to shut down the Silver Bullets, but them Knights of the Blazing Sun just going to run back and peel you. And Cold One Knights are much like Orc Boar Boys. They're a fine unit. I'm not saying they're a bad unit, but they are not quick about killing infantry, even pathetic infantry like handgunners or something. And getting rear charge by the Knights of the Blazing Sun is going to do so much damage. Morathi is going in for a snipe onto Marcus Wolfhard, deciding that this game is not going in her favor and she needs to lower the Empire leadership, and she needs to do it now. Scourge Runner chariots turning themselves into chariots and actually rolling through some of the infantry back here to get rid of them. A lot of the Empire guns are getting shut down. The Hellblaster volley gun is being attacked by Morathi, and if you can stop that thing from shooting, the balance of power will come back in your favor by quite a lot. That's a very expensive artillery piece. That's why that Harbinger is protecting quite well. And it can turn and do decent damage to Scourge Runner chariots. As a direct fire thing, it's hard for them to dodge. It still has armor piercing, still has all that stuff. But Scourge Runners, just going to charge into it, knock these guys around, and stop them from doing too much. For the Empire, though, they have a lot of Knights of the Blazing Sun in this late game that can run down the Dark Elves that are routing, can run down the Scourge Runner chariots and stuff. So I think the Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to be plenty capable of carrying. Shades are back, and the Empire has a lot of state troops. But Marcus taxed again by the Soul Stealer, under attack by Cold One Knight in the face, and the Hellblaster volley gun is down. You can see that bounce power is coming back to even, like we were talking about. Can the Knights of the Blazing Sun finish it out? As they route some Cold One Knights, they route the Dark Riders. The Silver Bullets should come back, but the Knights of the Blazing Sun are kind of needed everywhere at once. They need to peel for Marcus, they need to run down those Shades, they need to shut down the Scourge Runner chariots. So they're good units, but are there enough of them to get done what needs to get done? And another Melkoth is in onto the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Marcus gets out one last net as he tries to run away from Morathi, who has been chasing him for quite a while. And this Grey Wizard, man, he took so much damage at the start of the game, and now he's just like on the sidelines like, hey guys, I'm still here. Everybody forgot about me. Nice job from the Silver Bullets, firing sideways into the Cold One Knights. Knights of the Blazing Sun going to get charged, but these Cold One Knights are just so damaged that even though they get the charge of the Knights of the Blazing Sun, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, they're out of here. Bounce power's back to about 50-50, but the Empire is getting a ton of units back on the far side. Even these Outriders grenade launchers are here, and they're firing away at the Black Ark Corsairs. Black Ark Corsairs aren't clumped up or anything, so they won't take insane damage, but it's good damage regardless. Marcus is either dead or routed. Lord recently died, yes. The Empire is taking a bit of a leadership debuff. They're not as leadership buff as elves or dwarves or anything, but the Empire are no cowards either. They're not going to immediately all just rout off the map because Marcus is dead. And this just looks weird. I love how the Cold Knights rallied while they were like inside of the Outriders because the flag was, but the rest of the units weren't. And then a different Scourge Runner chariot rallies because most of the units were way over here, but there's one that's literally inside of the Outriders. And these Outriders are like, guys, we matter. Like, stuff should be routing if we're next to it. Come on. Anyway, Free Company Militia and Crossmen trying to rejoin the fight. Cold Knights route anyway, but the Outriders might follow them off the battlefield. They really need to get at least like one volley on these Dark Elf troops to just take them out and force the late game to be Morathi and some Scourge Runner chariots. Shadow Wizard should come back. He has positive leadership and no one's chasing him, so he's fine. He's back. Not that it matters too much. He only has Melkoths, and nothing around here is too weak to Melkoths besides the Bleak Swords, which are not your problem. The Empire is plenty capable of killing off the Bleak Swords because all they have left is state troops and crossmen. Their big problem is going to get cycle charged by Scourge Runner chariots and Morathi or something. Mini Dude just joined the Discord. What up, dude? Happy to have you. Also, get out. Get the fuck out of here! Razel made it to top 62 during the first World Cup. Probably. That sounds like a thing he would do. I don't remember the first World Cup because it was a long time ago, but, like, I get it. Melkoth's in from the Shadows Wizard, just trying to take out some of the Black Ark Corsairs, but at this point, I think the writing's on the wall. The Dark Elves have all the agency in the world, and Marathi can keep healing herself up with Soul Stealers if she wants to, or she can just spam Melkoths while the Scourger and Chariots chase things off. The Empire's down to just some light state troops. Most things are too wounded to do very much. I think that's GG. Good Scourge Runner volley. How many shots do they have left? 2. They're focusing him on the Knights of Blazing Sun. Good target. And then Marathi finishes him off with Melkoth. Knights of Blazing Sun have 25% spell resist, but they're just so low that a Melkoth will finish them off. They shatter. Spearmen shatter. And the Grey Wizard is thinking about routing. But more Empire troops start to shatter. Another Melkoth! Another Overcast! More damage! And he is dead. Man, that Grey Wizard could not catch a break on those Overcasts. Every single one chunked him out. Very good game to start off this best of 5 between the two clans. One Golden Knight got shellacked. The rest did fine. Not amazing, but fine. Shades did okay. Scourger and Chariots, really well played around by Razel. Marathi also did great. And the Dark Elf Infantry, nothing to write home about, but they did their job. The other side for Twilight Harbinger, Marcus had some clutch nets. He himself is never going to get a lot of value. It's just not what he does these days, but he is just a net caster for you. Melkoth's caster got 900 value. The Empire Spearmen and Swordsmen did okay. Crossmen didn't get a lot of value, unfortunately. Silver Bullets and the Outriders Grenade shut down. Knights of Blazing Sun really tried to put this game on their back, but they couldn't. And the Hellblaster Volley Gun paid for itself, which is better than it usually does, so I'm calling that a win. Good job, Hellblaster Volley Gun. You did it. Okay, I have to start this one now. Go there, do that. Green check mark. Yes, start with Razel. Boop. ODM's off to another 1-0 lead. My body's not ready. I don't want an ODM finals. Flying Taco, save me. Save me! In the Lizardmen mirror. Nakai the Wanderer in a Lizardmen mirror. Versus a Life Slan. It's the Taco versus the meta because this is crazy. Can Nakai and a Beastcaster beat a Life Slan? Because otherwise their builds are like the same. Both have the Arwar Croxagore. Both have Ripperdactyls of some kind. Both have 2 Razordon hunting packs. Both have skink front lines. There are minor differences, but it is mostly Nakai versus a Life Slan. Okay, cool. So for Flying Taco, we have the Cohort of Waddle, some Feral Cold Ones, 2 Razordon hunting packs, 2 Ripperdactyl Riders, and then a bunch of basic Croxagores, 1 Skink Cohort of Javelins, and a bunch of Rayo Skink cohorts. The Skink Priest of Beasts has Curse of Honor here, Flock of Doom, and a Manticore summon. Nakai brought his Perfect Vigor and damage resistance, and that's it. On the other side, we have Skink Cohorts of Javelins, a whole bunch of them, 2 Razordon hunting packs, some Cold One Spear Riders, Feral Cold Ones, the Cohort of Waddle, the Colossan Hunters, and a Slan Mage Priest of Life, with just regrowth. Razordons are trading fire with each other, but Taco is going to lose out on this trade because there's Skink Cohorts with Javelins also contributing to this fight. Meanwhile, Croxagores and Feral Cold Ones and Skink's going to fight Cold One Spear Riders. Cold One Spear Rider's going to be in a bad spot because Taco has overlapping fire with the Razordon hunting packs, but also he has Skinks in the fight that are supporting the Croxagores. With those new buffs, the Croxagores are now getting that, like, spawn-kin thing, so they get 10% more damage. The Razordons are firing up into the Colossan Hunters as well. Frontlines have collided. Overall, it appears to be going Taco's way as he has more Ripperdactyls and more Croxagores to support the front line. Hardrest Warrior has much more cavalry, so he should be doing better on the flanks. Toad Rage is out to rampage Colossan Hunters. Overcast a regrowth on them preemptively to keep them in the fight as they tear apart other Ripperdactyls. A second Ripperdactyl unit commits to them as well. Cohort of Waddle is going to fight the Cohort of Waddle, but on top of Nakai, this Cohort of Waddle should win since he's giving them damage resistance and Perfect Vigor. They should be fine. Colossan Hunters taking big damage, even with the regrowth still ticking. They think about routing. This fight here, Coldland Spear Riders and Feral Coldlands slowly chewing their way through the Crocscores and whatnot, but that's okay, it's whatever. As long as Taco isn't getting dominated on the flanks, he's got to be happy with it, considering how outmatched he is in the cavalry department. But having no healing is quite a burden, and we see it on the balance of power already as Red is starting to tip ahead just slightly. In that entire engagement with the Closton Hunters, due to healing, they're fine, and his Ripperdactyls are not fine. Heal cap is coming within sight for them. Hardress Warrior still has 2 Razordon hunting packs online. They're firing into Crocscores, who are now retreating away from Coldland Spear Riders because their Skink Cohort allies are about to leave. Flock of Doom is hurting the Red Lizardmen somewhat. Nakai is still very healthy. His Cohort of Waddle are doing okay, but again, he has no healing for them. So these other Cohort of Waddle have just been getting healing, I imagine. Regrowth of some kind. Feral Coldlands on the back line, chasing down the Razordon hunting packs. Other Razordon hunting packs coming back to start shooting at these guys. And the Cohort of Waddle have left the fight. They're trying to run back here and peel these Feral Coldlands, but they're not nearly fast enough to do that. Now I'm getting worried for Taco. Why is Lifeslon meta if you aren't bringing big dinos? Because healing just is way too overtuned right now. Like, these Closton Hunters, they could take that bad engagement, but just heal their way through it, and now they're still around and helping, whereas Taco's Ripperdactyl Riders died. Alright, Razordon hunting packs getting run down by Feral Cold Ones. They are slowly dying as Taco is running back here with his Cohort of Waddle and Nakai the Wanderer. This Cohort of Waddle, see, we were just talking about healing. This one's already back to almost full HP, and Taco's Cohort is down to 1/3. It's just really, really rough. Cohort of Waddle always have perfect vigor, I believe. Oh. Oh! Would you look at that? Taco does peel for the Razordons. They still have 15 out of 32 models. Nakai also catches the other Feral Cold Ones out. That looks like these Feral Cold Ones finished off his Razordon hunting pack. Oh, no, both Razordon hunting packs are over there. Okay, so they're both back. But Hardress has the same Razordon hunting packs, and they're higher HP overall. Feral Manticore. It is a summon, so Taco's just chucking it in there for fun. He's about to run out of time anyway. Distracted the Lifeslon in them. And Hardress might have overextended here with his Razordons. We can see the Ripperdactyls of Flying Taco just running straight at him. Closton Hunters are trying to get over here and help. Cohort of Waddle trying to get over here and help. But the Razordons all are out on their own. They're quick. 70 speed on these little guys. They go running back to Mama, and they'll be just fine. And some Skinks threatening to rout the Razordons again as Nakai goes dancing through them for now, but he won't rout them or anything. They should be able to take out the Razordon hunting pack without much issue. Another regrowth out for the Closton Hunters. It is overcast again. That will for sure heal cap them. I don't know what Taco can do here. There's a lot left. I wonder if he just YOLO charges at the Slon or something. Still has some Razordons. So does Hardress Warrior. It's not like that's unique. Closton Hunters officially heal capped. They can't get any more healing. So if they take any more bad engagements, they'll actually get punished for them. For real this time. Nakai goes dancing in, but he is dancing into Coldland Spear Riders and the Cohort of Waddle. I wonder if Taco has a Curse of Honor here he's hoping to throw down there or something, just as his own cohort are going to charge in, or the Razordon's hoping to fire over the top, but this is what we're worried about. Hardress has a lot more units left, so he can just charge straight over here. Blood Statue of Spite, plus a big charge from the Feral Cold Ones will take out those Razordons soon. Nakai gets his own Razordons. A second and final Feral Manticore summon is out. Taco's bringing back his last Ripperdactyls. The Closton Hunters look like they're going to rear charge the Cohort of Waddle here. Not that it matters too much. Razordons are chewing them up. I think that is GG. Closton Hunters should get a rear charge on their Ripperdactyl Brethren, as their Rampage state makes them slightly confused and they stand around like idiots, but the couple models that charge down are getting really good damage. That's that. Cohort of Waddle are routing for Taco's side. Ripperdactyls are also routing for Taco's side. That is a fake Manticore with 30 seconds left before it just disintegrates into nothingness. And there's another regrowth for the Cohort of Waddle. It is also overcast. Slawns are stupid! I hate Slawns. Slawns are the most broken thing in this game right now. Well, okay, not the most broken thing in the game, but the most broken, non-bugged thing. A thing that is not considered a bug by CA. Slawns are stupid. Wildly undercosted, super tanky, crazy damage, and the best spellcasters in the whole game. Seems balanced. Seems le balanced. Flying Taco, it was a good attempt at a meme, but Nakai not coming through for him in the end. Reprotect was okay. Basic Croc scores struggling. His Razordon hunting packs were also on the back foot most of the game. And then his Skinks had a tough time on the front line. For Hardress Warrior, Life Slon healed everything up a metric shit ton. Clawstone Hunters did okay. Corval did okay. But his Cold One Spear Riders ran the sides. Razordons were much more protected so they could fire for longer. And his Feral Cold Ones got to shut things down. GG. Frog Cyst. I hate Slons. I'll admit it. Slons are stinky. Slons are poo-poo. Wait, nope, wrong side. I thought ODM was on that side. 2-0 start for ODM. Can anyone take a game off of them? Maydave versus Loopy. There we are. Grand Cathay versus the Beastmen with Celestial Dragon Guard. Whoa. Whoa! Whoa! Mayday bringing the Jabber Scythe and a Gorgon. Don't often see the regular Gorgon, unless it's paired with the Bloodbird Behemoth. For Grand Cathay, we have a Boxy Box. If Evaniel's out there, he's probably excited to finally see Grand Cathay. But we have a Boxy Box. A whole bunch of Celestial Dragon Guard and Peasant Long Spears. 3 Jade Warrior Crossbows, 2 with shields, 1 without. And we have quadruple Onyx Crowman, including the Empress Crowman. And we have Yenbo, the Jade Dragon, with his Execute, Net, and Talons of Night. And then the side for the Beastmen, we have some Centaurs with throwing axes, Centigores, Zongors, Ungor herds, Ungor spearman herds, etc., etc., Razorgore herds, the Jabber Scythe, a Gorgon, Morgar with both of his Chaos Spawn summons, and then a Traitor King caster. For now, Morgar's just getting poked out a little bit. And the Beastmen taking their time to surround. Since Grand Cathay doesn't have artillery or anything that's forcing them forward extremely intensely, they can take their time and set up a proper surround and stuff. Morgar's just going to run around in the archer fire. He's a foot character, which is hard for archers to hit, and he's dodging, and he has 75% missile resistance. So all in all, XMT is not worried about Morgar taking damage. The Chaos Spawn voluntary summon is out. Shows up right in the middle of the Grand Cathay box, and now the Halberds would have to break their formation to get back there and stop these guys. And they just charge right into the Jade Warrior Crossbows, disrupting them for a bit. Onyx Crumman going to rear charge the Chaos Spawn, try and take them out. But this isn't about the damage for the Chaos Spawn. It's about stopping the Celestial Dragon, the Jade Warriors from firing on the advance for a little bit here, allowing the Gorgon to maybe get involved. Razorgore herds charge in, and they are going to charge out so fast. The Celestial Dragon Guard just beat up on him. It's a bit of a tough start for the Beastmen, though that is how things go. His Jabber Scythe was trying to charge in, but he got netted on the way. 12 seconds left, and all the archers turn and fire at it. Because Jabber Scythe is amazing at killing off infantry with all of its cycle charging and whatnot. It has the best charge animations in the game for clearing out infantry. So this net is well-timed, well-cast. The archers aren't going to have enough DPS to kill it, but like any damage you can get is good, and it looks like Yenbo is going to charge out here and try and kill it himself. It's going for the charge. Gets blocked a little bit by Yenbo, but completes the charge anyway. And it is in rolling through these halberds, trying to break him up. Beastmen find the balance of power. I'm a little concerned about the actual state of the game, though, because a lot of them are routing the Grand Cathay boxes still intact. Jabber Scythe doing what it should, just charging through all the infantry it can, disrupting them throwing out their formation and stopping them from shooting, doing any of that stuff, and it's mostly trying to avoid Yanbo for a while. What do the Beastmen have? Not a lot. Not a lot. Having issues getting through here. The front line's already falling apart. We have Centaurs throwing axes, kiting away from Onyx Crowman. Other Onyx Crowman are coming up and around. The Jabberscythe is taking big damage from Yanbo before it charges away yet again. What can the Traderkin caster do? Because this is a big old blob build. Traderkins will be quite good here. That is what you bring it for. A third health off the Celestial Dragon Guard while they were braced because the Jabberscythe just decided to charge through them. It is such a good animation for clearing out infantry of all shapes and sizes. There is the Traderkin we were hoping for. Overcast onto Yanbo and a bunch of units. That is huge. It hit 2 Celestial Dragon Guard, Yanbo, a Crossman, and a Spearman. 2 Crossmen. Damn. Damn! Jabberscythe very, very, very low, and Yanbo's going to go pursue it off the map as the Gorgon is also running through things and disrupting them. He doesn't have the same, like, damage to infantry that the Jabber does. He has self-healing, he has incredible mass, and he still has good charge animations, so the Gorgon's fine at disruption. He's just not as good at killing infantry as the Jabber is. Nathaniel's here to see his precious Grand Cathay! Hi, Cash. Hi, Cash. We're not talking about you, though. We're talking about Nathaniel. Alright. Peasant long spears are terror routing away from the Gorgon. Jadeward crossbows were also terror routing, but they did manage to rally. Yanbo is finishing off the Jabberscythe. Scythe. The Onyx Crowmen are still lurking above. Balance power is favoring Cathay slightly. Cathay is throwing by keeping Yanbo in dragon form. He does need to get out here and execute some fools. Gets a charge onto Morgar. Gets some decent damage down. And he just used the Emperor's Executioner, and it did, like, 0 damage. Anybody else see that? It did, like, 0 damage to Morgar. Is it considered a missile? Okay, that was weird. But yes, he did just waste his Executioner ability on Morgar, though I am shocked it didn't do any damage. Or he used it earlier, and that was just a weird animation, and I'm being stupid. He might have used it on the Jabber. Can you even use it on the Jabber, or do you have to use it on the Lord or Hero? Yeah, it has to be a Lord or Hero. Huh. Okay. That's fine. Yanbo's still trying to duel Morgar, not getting a ton of damage out. The Beastmen are running out of infantry. They're running out of infantry fast. Their Zongors are running out of health. Their Ungor Spearman herds have already routed a couple times. Centaur is still healthy, not a lot of ammo. The Emperor's Crowman chasing off the Jabberscythe, though that thing's at 18 HP. It's not coming back. You can probably bring the Emperor's Crowman back. It's not going to be a big deal. Just a 0 on what? Full live targets. Oh, Olaf. Does it have scaling damage? Because I know it executes you below a certain threshold, but does it have scaling damage? Affects units if unit is a Lord or a Hero. Nicolin, I don't know what to tell you. It's literally right there. Affects units if unit is Lord or Hero. Alright. Traderkin cast still rolling around. The Beastmen are pulling ahead on the balance of power, and I'm not sure how I feel. We do have a fake Chaos Spawn here from Morgar that'll fade away in 30 seconds. That might help things a little bit. Morgar is like full HP and regenerating. The Gorgon is also regenerating, and there's a Traderkin caster. But on the side of Cathay, all their infantry that are left are halberds and spears. So I'm not sure having a big monster in the late game is as guaranteed of a win as we think it is. It does 70 damage in 2 ticks. If they're beyond the threshold, they die. It says it does 732 damage per second. I don't know. I don't know what to think. That's a weird ability. So we still have Celestial Dragon Guard fighting away. There is no Harmony bonus, as everything around here is Yang. None of the Jade Warrior crossbows are still around. I wonder if there's an Onyx Crowman that should just stay in the sky and stay near the halberds to give them buffs, because these guys got Yin in the last update. So I do think one of the Onyx Crowman, some of them can chase. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I think one needs to come over here and just give those stats. Give those juicy stats as the Onyx Crowman try and get the Centaurs with throwing axes out of here. Celestial Dragon Guard, terror out away from the Gorgon, who is still full HP, but he's been healing literally all game. I have no idea where his heal cap is. If it's right around the corner, then Cathay is fine. If it's still a while to go, Cathay is boned. Onyx Crowman really trying to kill the Centaurs so that their archers can come back safe and sound. It looks like the Centaurs can just suicide dive uphill here and knock those guys out. Zongor is trying to hang out, do their best. And Yunbo stay in the sky, walking around, doing his best. Just to chill and vibe. Say goodbye to the Jade Warrior crossbows. And without the Harmony buffs, our Grand Cathay halberds are starting to rout without that extra leadership. In comes a big Traderkin just as Yambo lands. Hits all of his Onyx Crowman buddies too. Centaurs are routed off, and Yambo, protected from the Gorgon by some Onyx Crowman. The Empress Crowman are also over here. Though again, I would support just keeping one of them, especially the super damage one, just put it up in the sky above the halberds for a buff. Morgar's heal cap is in sight. Yambo can wander over. He can get Executioner on his Dragon's Fang too, so if he starts dueling with Morgar, Morgar's actually in trouble. But the Crowmen are landing yet again. Now they're providing that Harmony buff, which is good, but I think these super dead Crowmen just need to, like, hover. Just hover in the sky. There's no reason for you to be down there. The next Traderkin might kill them anyway, but I don't know. Yambo nets the Gorgon so he doesn't have to deal with it while he goes for the snipe onto Morgar. Just buying himself a little bit of time. The Empress Crowmen are in here. Celestial Dragon Guard still trying to fight it out. Looks like the Zongors are going down, and Yambo's getting big damage onto Morgar. This is his last hope. If Cathay can snipe out Morgar, maybe they can still win this game. Maybe the Halberds can rally and just fight around the Gorgon. And the Gorgon's heal cap is hit. It cannot heal anymore the rest of this game. Yambo pops the Dragon's Fang, but Morgar gets away and the Gorgon peels him off. Yambo is just going to have to fight that guy now. He is fighting on top of Celestial Dragon Guard. Empress Crowman chasing around the Brave Shaman Wilds, getting him super close to routing. Maybe they can save Yambo from Traderkin. He is not ITP in human form, so he's risking it. Not going to get terrorized by the Gorgon just yet, but he doesn't want to transform into a dragon either because then it gets his bonus versus large. I think Cathay is doomed at this point. They're just too far behind. He got close to sniping out Morgar, but there were just some issues that he could not resolve. In comes a Traderkin pushing Yambo down. Army losses hits, and Cathay has lost. $2,300 and $2,200 for the values on the Traderkin caster, and the Gorgon Jabberscythe only got 800 as it was focused down really hard by Cathay. That is that. For Loopy, Yambo, 1,800 value is pretty nice. Celestial Dragon Guard, really mixed. Like, good, fine, bad. That's funny. Onyx Crowman, overall, were annoying for the Beastmen to deal with and did fine. Jador Crossbows did fine. Peasant Longspears did fine. Okay. Now I'm curious. I just need to test it really, really, really quick. Because that didn't look right. So, Yambo. Cut the rest. No one gives a shit about the rest. Whatever, I have my execute, and then Beastmen, Morgar, and then a Wargore. Troll run, Alpine Ridge, whatever, I don't care. Alright, while we load in, I'll go to the Photoshop and do what I'm supposed to be doing. So that is a win for Maydave, keeping XMT alive. And my hopes for a non-ODM final alive as well. Can Ronan and Papa Palpatine beat Alfredino and Segos? That is a tall ask, but maybe. But maybe. Okay, I just want to see this fucking Executioner thing, because it did, like, no damage to Morgar. So let's use it on the Wargore. Bomp! Yeah, look at that! Look at how much fucking damage that did! That half HP'd him! Hold on. So if in my test it half HP's Morgar, Loopy might have won that game if whatever happened hadn't happened there. Because it did no damage to Morgar. It did fucking none. I will not apologize for this exploration because I want to know. I want to know. Can you show me? I want to know about these strangers like me. He takes so much less! It's not just spell resist. That's not 25% less. I think it counts as a missile. I think it counts as a missile. He takes no fucking damage from it. What the hell? He takes no damage. It's just Morgar. Because it's gotta be a missile. Somehow, some way it's coded as a missile. There is no shot that 25% spell resist changes it that much. Okay, cool. Cool. That's fine. I'm chilling. I'm not mad about this at all. That's so fucked up. Ronin versus Alfredino. I'm moving on. Oh, it's Stinky Bretonnia versus Ogres. Ooh, that is some stinky. Fine. Very well. All right. XMT's still in it. Can the Ogres beat Bretonnia? Definitely. This is double funny. I love Alfredino. This is not about the players. I also love Ronin. This is not about the players. But as a caster, just personally, I'm so sick of Bretonnia. So whenever somebody's playing Bretonnia, I'm always like, fuck them up, whoever's fighting them. Because I just hate Bretonnia now with like... Because when did they get... They got changed in April. I see it. Don't point it out. I see it. I'll get to that. Anyway, they changed them in April. Since April, my casting life has been, and the Grail Knights heal capped, and the Hippogriff Knights heal capped. Can Lewin carry the game? The answer is yes. I'm so tired of it. So I'm like, whenever Bretonnia's on the screen, I fucking hate it. And I don't want an ODM final because I like the hype of a clan versus a clan. So now I'm like, I hope Alfredino loses more than anything in this world. And I'm sorry because I love the guy, but I have two different forces conspiring. And then Ronin takes Grease's fucking gold tooth. What the shit, dude? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do to me? What's this ODM final bullshit you're forcing on me, dude? What is this? What is this fat bitch doing on my screen? Get him out of here! This is a fake game, right? You sent me a fake game. You're like, it'd be funny to fuck with Human Boy on a live stream. I'll send him a fake game. And after I cast whatever this shit is, you're gonna send me the real game. Oh, you're gonna send me the real game where you banned Bretonnia and you picked like a real build, or maybe it is Bretonnia and you took like anybody else. You took fucking Grease's gold tooth in a semifinal of a big event, and you want me to believe this is real? I don't believe this is real. I don't believe shit. I ain't casting an ODM final. I ain't gonna do it because of Grease's motherfucking gold tooth. We're doing a redo. Get him back in here. Get fucking Ronin out of bed. I don't care that he works. I don't care that he has a job. He's playing this again. I'm not casting it. My manager is telling me that I am casting it. Are you serious? No, you're serious. What contract? I didn't sign shit. Well, that doesn't count because I wasn't listening. That's the law, you idiot. If I'm not listening, it doesn't count. I'll sign anything if I'm not listening, you fuck. You know this. We've been working together for 8 years, dude. 8 years. You know I don't listen. We'll deal with it after. This is unprofessional. I'm on a stream. God damn it. Just like... Well, don't cry. Just go. Just leave. Guy. Fucking unprofessional. It's unprofessional, is what it is. Okay. What are we doing? Oh yeah, okay, alright. Yeah. Ogres versus Bretonnia. Got it. For Alfredino, we have Alberic de Bordelot. Very good lord here. He does have the Braid of Bordelot. Gives all of his units around him bonus versus large, which is versus ogres. Is huge. It's great. He also has the Trident, the Wrath of Manon, which applies a leadership debuff on Noblars, so you can clear out Noblars very quickly. Aside from that, we have Royal Hippogriff Knights, we have the Pains of Quenelles, Armor-Piercing Anti-Large, and then we have a bunch of Knights of the Realm for regular Anti-Large, Spears and Halberds backing up with a Healing Caster. And aside for the Ogre Kingdoms, bits aside, we have Greasus Goldtooth. As some people in chat are mentioning, he does have various buffs and debuffs that are helpful, but most importantly is that immune to psychology aura, so that the Hippogriff Knights don't get a bunch of free terror routes in the late game. Aside from that, we have Lead Belchers, Crushers, Ogre Bulls, all these things that are good at slapping Bretonnia around. Now, Bretonnia has given the Ogres a bit of a gift with these peasant mobs. Very high model count, very low leadership. It's easy to charge up your Ogres passive off of them. But can you really take the time and go route them off? And for a caster, we took a Fire Belly. Since you have Greasus as a lord, you can take the Fire Belly hero without much issue, already routing off some stuff. In the back line, Royal Hippogriff Knights are taking a fight with the Mournfang Cav with great weapons, and they are slamming this fight right now, doing a ton of damage, but in comes the Flaming Sword of Ruin for some extra flaming attacks and magic damage. Crushers get side charged by the Companions of Quenelles. And the Hippogriff Knights are taking, like, literally 0 damage in this fight, as the other Crushers with great weapons charge in to try and change how it's going. These Mournfang Cav with great weapons are just shitting the bed. They're just literally sitting there and dying. In comes a regrowth, but with everyone has their price, and these guys being on fire, they are severely debuffed and won't get nearly as much healing. More Bretonnians pile in, and the Lead Belchers are unfortunately not going to get to play the game, as they will get knocked out super quickly here. Alberic not having fun fighting Greasus. Greasus, the one thing I'll give him is if you stand and fight with him, Greasus will whoop your ass into next Tuesday. He is an insane duelist if you literally just AFK and fight him. But you can walk away. A drunk person with one leg could outrun Greasus and get out of here. Another Burning Head down the front line to get rid of some Spearmen, and Lead Belchers did manage to slip and slide their way through the formation and get away from the Hippogriff Knights around. Now this is a big moment for the Ogres. Can they actually isolate and kill Alberic with Greasus and some Crushers? No, the Crushers are leaving, and Greasus is T-posing like there's no tomorrow. Swing, you stupid fuck! Swing! Good boy! Oh, okay, not mad though. Bretonnia is rolling through the sides. The Crushers are getting wrecked. The Mournfang Cav with great weapons already got wrecked. And I love how they just rallied while standing literally right here. I don't know how it works. I'm not going to question it. The game felt so sorry for Greasus Goldtooth. He said, fuck it, your units can rally right there. It's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. Greasus is just about dead. That is a GG. Don't put Greasus Goldtooth on my fucking screen. You do hate the players, don't lie. Yeah. He's talking to John Cena. Yeah, you can't see me. Alfredino with the win. Nice job, nice job. Memes aside, alright, I was doing a bit. I'm not actually, like, mad at Ronan for picking Greasus or whatever. I get it. The AoE ITP, he's a good duelist and stuff. It's just like, we saw why that doesn't tend to work is, one, if you take a bad fight with Greasus, you can just opt out and then go heal somewhere else unless you get surrounded by Crushers. And even when Alfredino got surrounded by Crushers and Greasus and the Fire Belly, all the Ogres spent the whole game elbowing each other like, hey, let me at him, hey, let me at him. And it's like, all right, can one of you guys pick who's going to go hit him, because you're all getting in each other's way. And Alberic took like no fucking damage. On the other side for Ronan, Greasus, 274 value. The Fire Belly did fine. Mournfang Cav and Crushers did what they could. The Mournfang Cav kind of T-posed for a while and didn't do much, but the Crushers did pretty well. Lead Belchers just didn't have any space. There was no archers for them to shoot at. There wasn't a lot of time to kite because Bretonnia just swamped in. And Ogre Bulls got rolled. Noblars held for a while. So it's a GG. Yeah, it's a GG. We have one more game left in the stream, but let's go over and check the score. Also, I forgot I didn't have the camera on today. It's funny I didn't have the camera on today, so for that whole bit about me having a pretend manager off screen, I was looking off screen and doing gestures, and no one could see that. It is confirmed that I do have to cast an ODM final. But let's see if it is a 3-2 or 4-1 in the final game of the day. Papa Palpatine versus Segos. The Empire versus the Warriors of Chaos. He's fuming. Camera on, I want to see smoke. Yeah, I didn't set up the camera today because it was a shorter stream and I gotta go. Well, not gotta go, but I just it takes time to set up the camera and the lights and stuff. And I was packing and then I started the stream and I'm gonna go back to packing because we moved soon. So I forgot I didn't set up. My bad. That's my bad, guys. I'll take the L. Shiggy Diggy, I'll take that bet. 5-1 odds. If you win, I'll give you $100, but ODM ain't winning this shit. The whole tournament. You're on. Anyway, focusing. Focusing, guys. Come on, let's go. ODM, we have Segos with triple war wagons. Boris Toddbringer up in the sky with Crush the Weak and his regen. One Outrider with grenade launchers to clear out some chaff, and then Spearmen, Swordsmen, and a whole bunch of Empire Knights, 4 of them, including one Amethyst Wizard, Spirit Leech, and Fate of Buna. On the other side for Papa Palpatine and the Warriors of Chaos, we have some Marauders of Slaanesh mixed in there. Marauders are great weapons. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, Armored Chaos Trolls, some Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, some Horsemasters, Archaon the Everchosen with Spirit Leech and Searing Doom, and then Chaos Warhounds, a Chosen of Khorne with dual weapons. And this is truly an undivided Warriors of Chaos build because they just went to the supermarket and said, one of those, one of those, one of those, one of those. They grabbed a bit of everything. Do we actually have one of everything? Khorne, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, but I didn't see anything of Nurgle. Damn, no Nurgle. Otherwise, it was almost a whole grab bag. War Wagons kiting it out. Pop Palpatine. The Trolls can be decent targets because they can regen up. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch also took some damage from them and are just backing off their barriers. So far, Pop Palpatine just wasting some ammo from the War Wagons. Outriders falling back with the Imperials. Swordsmen retreating. No reason for them to charge into the jaws of chaos while they're kiting, right? This is a favorable game state for them. They want to delay the melee engagement for as long as possible. No Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle for the heals. Nah, Archaon's fine. He's an incredible duelist. Spirit Leech is a good spell. Searing Doom is a good spell. I think the Nurgle caster is also good here, but I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's like, oh, he picked the other good option. Okay, also fine. But yeah, the Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle is great here too. Healing up Chaos Knights is always fantastic. Like, no problems. Still think Dragon Ogres are underused? They're cool, but I feel like they fail me more often than they should. Nurgle units are wandering out of the battlefield to get here sooner or later. Boris Toddbringer, overstaying his welcome outside of his forces, takes a bit of extra damage, does waddle back, he'll use his Midland Limber and Fang to heal up. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch taking a brutal Fate of Buna that gets rid of their barriers and does some extra damage, but mostly gets rid of their barriers on the charge. So now they're actually going to take real damage rather than just using their barriers and then backing off. Boris also rear charging them, getting their debuffs down, going to terror out them soon. That is a nasty loss for the Warriors of Chaos. But the frontline fight is coming up, and Chaos is going to dumpster it super easily. We have Marauders, we have the Chosen Core of Dual Weapons. The Chosen Core of Dual Weapons can, not even joking, kill every infantry unit on this map if left to its own devices. If Outriders don't get involved, if Magic doesn't get involved, the Chosen Core of Dual Weapons can just kill the entire Empire infantry army. They're so good. I love Chosen Corn. They're balanced, they're super expensive, they're easy to kite, all those things. But man, if you feed them chaff infantry, they go nuts. Archaon taking a bit of damage. He did push off Boris again. We saw Boris took damage earlier, so his heal cap is coming in soon. Sooner rather than later. But the War Wagons push Archaon away, keep their lord nice and safe. On the far side, Chaos is doing well. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, after that Fate of Buna and nasty charge, they did rally and they're now back in the fight, but they will die here soon as Marauder Horsemen throwing axes try and kill the Chaos Knights while they can. Chaos's front line is doing good work, pushing back the Imperials and buying some space, but it's the mobility of Chaos that is suffering. That Fate of Buna taking out their only heavy cav, and now you have 3 skirmish cavalry trying to stay safe with 4 heavy cav of the Empire running around. Searing Doom from Archaon to damage more swordsmen. And the Outriders' grenade launchers freely firing away. They're running out of ammo, so the Chosen of the Corn might get away scot-free from those guys. Grenade launchers don't have incredible armor piercing, so the Chosen of the Corn aren't going to, like, die instantly, but they still really don't want to get shot with the grenades. It's just, like, they're such an expensive unit that any damage is bad damage. Darko, I would agree. Now, this is a weird situation, but the Chosen of Corn, look how spread out they are through the Imperial lines, so the grenade launchers firing at them is good for the Empire, sure, but it will do a lot of friendly fires at Chosen of Corn, like, who are you gonna shoot at? We're taking 4 units as hostages! Marauder Horsemasters firing in. Archaon still trying to punish Boris. Whenever Boris lands, Archaon's trying to charge in. Fight or Die is down. A Searing Doom to help clear out some of the Spearmen and knock them down so we can get past. Armored Chaos Trolls trying to hold Boris in place as Archaon tries to push his way through. Looks like Boris might get to safety. He gets caught up on the last Chaos Troll, but Archaon just can't push through those Spearmen at all, and Boris will get away. He will get up into the sky. War Wagons still have tons of ammunition, just so much. The white line is here. Is Chaos able to pin them against the white line and push them off? It doesn't look like it. They just don't have enough mobility forces in the area to really do so. But the Imperials, who once had so many troops on the battlefield, now missing just about half of them, as 600 have died, and the Chosen according to weapons have 151 of those kills. Archaon at half HP. Boris's heal cap is in sight, but it is quite far up there. So if he stays alive, stays in the sky, he'll heal up plenty. And the Empire does have a Death Caster with Spirit Leech to constantly poke Archaon down and put him on a timer of life. Or you could even spend a Fate of Beat on the Chosen. Sure, the Chosen have 15% spell resistance. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Still Fate of Beat them. They're 1,500 gold and insanely high armored. Looks like that's what he's going to do. That's a great play. It's definitely worth your time. Archaon counters with the Spirit Leech onto Boris. So the War Wagons poke away at Archaon, but still look at the damage on these Chaos Warriors. Fate of Unit was well worth it for how much it just knocks them down. Archaon with healing alone would be oppressive, yeah. I wonder what they'll do about the Thrones of Decay as it pertains to Warriors of Chaos, because it doesn't seem like... CA is getting better about considering the broader effects of their DLC, but they seem to still be, like, not sure what to do about Warriors of Chaos in multiplayer, because they keep adding shit, and it keeps making the Warriors of Chaos more versatile and better. Warriors of Chaos aren't the best faction in the game right now. They're not even that oppressive, but the power creep for them over the games has been pretty insane. Anyway, some Marauder Horsemen throwing axes are going to get routed off the battlefield. Chosen of Corner getting kited out by the grenade launchers and by the War Wagons. It's soon just Archaon. The balance of power is indicating my feelings on this, as the Empire has way more stuff left. They have all the time in the world to kite with their War Wagons. They still have Spirit Leeches. Their Lord is healing. They're fine. They're under zero threat here. Now probably GG. Sego's taking the last win here for ODM, so it will be a 4-1 on this side of the bracket, a 5-0 on the other side. And XMD, Pop Palpatine, doing his best. But XMT had to do it to me, didn't they? Didn't they? They had to take Nakai the Wanderer, and they took Greasus Gold Tooth, and they go, oops, is that an ODM final? Is this $300 I'm putting in my pocket from Alfredino? Do I have fresh baguettes sent to me in the mail every day because Alfredino bribed me to take Nakai and Greasus? Oh, that's a shame. That's crazy that that happened. You suck! No, you suck. Yes, we did. We took the fucking bribes. In their defense, XMT stands for Extreme Meme Team. And Flying Taco has always loved Nakai, and he always takes Nakai. Ronan's a Giga Chad, so I could also see him taking Greasus Gold Tooth just to be a monster. I love those guys. It's hard to stay mad at them. It's really hard to stay mad at them. I will stay mad at them till the day I die, but it's difficult. I'm putting in effort to stay this mad. Boom! That's a 4-1 to ODM. Let's close this shit down. And get that thingy up there. Boop. ODM finals will be coming up when? Not this weekend, but next weekend. I believe we're doing some of it live. Some of it we are not doing live because certain players just aren't in good time zones to fight each other. But they were talking to each other and they said, "Hey, you want to do it live?" And I said, "I don't care, but if we're doing it live, you guys do have to show up. Like, as long as you all show up, I don't care. I'll cast the games." Right. We're still solidifying what the order is, but I believe it is going to be this. It looks like Hanadins versus Harvest Warrior, Green One versus Razel, Moore versus Loopy, JMG versus Alfredino, and Persian Warrior versus Salinator. That will not be this weekend. It will be next weekend. Some of them will play their games ahead of time, but the rest will be live. Hope to see you there. I am moving Friday, so right after the stream, I'm going to tear down all my streaming equipment and put it in boxes. And then tomorrow will be a full packing day, so don't expect to see a stream from me until like Sunday at the earliest, but probably next week, because we have to move up to the new house and then get like internet set up and things, and it's just all it's a rush. So I'm going to be going dark for a bit. We have videos scheduled out until April 20th, so you'll have your daily video no matter what, but there won't be a live stream for a while. Okay, everybody. Oh, good stretch. Oh, that is a good stretch. Feel it in your bones. Cool. I'm going to check chat briefly, and then I'm leaving. There's no baguette in Italy, so we made a deal. All the best at the move, human boy. Yeah. Please record live stream. We are doing the live stream in not this weekend, but next weekend. So like 9 days until the finals. Good luck with the house. Thanks. Oh yeah, I have to do a raid or whatever. Yeah, let's find someone to raid. We'll be good members of the community. PZA Total War is actually playing Total Warhammer 3. Is Radiant Ash? I haven't raided Radiant Ash in a while. Doesn't look like Ash, so we'll raid PZA again. He raids us plenty. Okay, grab the link, do the thing, go to this, edit this, go down to customize, and then redirect, add that. Go say hi to PZA. If you don't want to do that, then don't. I'm not your boss. You do whatever you want to do. Goodbye forever.